On August 28, 2014, the WWE would upload an animated short to their website and official YouTube channel titled WWE Cheap Pops Episode 1, a simple 2-minute and 12-second sketch comedy packaged in a PG-rated Robot Chicken-esque style featuring segments of WWE superstars in outlandish situations. Yet, less than 48 hours later, the WWE would privatize the video and remove all traces of it from its platforms, being forgotten by pretty much everyone. Except for me, you see. I vividly remember seeing this video when it premiered on WWE's YouTube, and the reason why I bring this up is not because it was genre defined, but rather I was confused as to why a random 2-minute short was uploaded to a channel as big as the WWE, and then later removed. At first I thought this was like some sort of fever dream, or maybe someone was impersonating the channel and posting bullshit, but after doing some digging around and stumbling across the original URL, I managed to find it on the Internet Archive. So it's not like the video is lost, it's just that there's hardly any mention of it online, let alone a fandom page. So I thought I'd shed some light on this obscure piece of WWE media and see if anyone else remembers this. With that said, my name is Lewis, and join me as I talk about Cheap Pops, the forgotten WWE animated pilot. Brought to you in part by our patrons and viewers like you. Your support is what drives the channel, guys, so thank you. WWE Cheap Pops was a single animated sketch comedy short that was uploaded to their website and official YouTube channel on August 28, 2014. And just so that I don't get 40 lashes from WWE's legal department, we won't be showing the video, but that's fine because honestly it looks like this short was made on Go Animate or something. I mean, just look at this walking animation. Despite it looking artistically challenging, to put it lightly, the video was actually produced by Lowbrow Studios. If that name doesn't sound familiar, they would be the ones responsible for producing the WWE Network original, Storytime, a show that recreates stories from WWE superstars into animated Storytime videos. Outside of wrestling, they're more successful for creating the web series Sonic for Hire, as well as take part in producing many videos for College Humor, Cyanide and Happiness, and Dorkly, which they now own as of May of 2023, so they're definitely a sizable animation studio. The short starts with a deer at a lake about to drink some water. Just as it's about to take a sip, it gets scared by the sound of Brock Lesnar's opening guitar riff in the distance. When the deer attempts to drink again, Brock Lesnar jump scares out of the water and punches the deer into the air, where he would introduce viewers to his fictional hunting show, and then soon cutting to the title card. Side note, the people voicing the WWE superstars are not the actual wrestlers, but rather voices from Lowbrow. If you're familiar with Sonic for Hire, you could easily recognize the voices. The short featured segments including John Cena struggling to find a new outfit, and even involves some of WWE's lesser known stars from the New Generation era, such as Adam Bomb, who visits the doctor and gets diagnosed with severe radiation poisoning, as well as the Berserker, who cuts a promo in proper Berserker fashion, only to later break kayfabe once the cameras are off. I did find it odd that out of the hundreds, if not thousands of WWE alumni, they chose the Berserker and Adam Bomb for this first episode. Considering they weren't in the Federation for that long, I feel like this was like a creative decision by someone working on it, but that I don't know. There was also an ongoing gag throughout the short where Daniel Bryan is out in the ring doing his yes chant and then getting interrupted by Stephanie McMahon, where she would call out Kane in different alternative outfits like Malibu Kane, Safari Kane, and Scuba Kane. It's Kane surfing in a scuba suit. He doesn't even have a surfboard, so, you know, that's nice. It also featured a shocked Undertaker fan, who was seen doing his trademark expression, even getting so shocked that his head exploded. Oh, that's Gore, my favorite comfort character. Anyways, shortly after the video was uploaded to the website and YouTube channel, less than 48 hours later, the video would be removed from all WWE platforms after just one episode. Mike Parker, the creative director of Cheap Pops, would say on his Facebook, stating that he doesn't know the details as to what happened, but it just had to be taken down super fast, and to wait and see what'll happen. Yet, nothing ever happened, and the video would remain privatized indefinitely. Some users on different subreddits and forums would theorize as to why the video was removed. Users suggest the shocked Undertaker fan's head exploding might have been too much for the WWE PG rating, while others believe that they didn't want to pay him royalties. Not gonna lie, that sounds pretty par for the course. Some think that the short was too meta, as it was pointing fun at WWE's creative decisions or something, which kind of seems unlikely given WWE at this point was pushing for the reality era at this time, so it just seems like a step back. In my personal opinion, I just think the video wasn't up to standards. Maybe the missing surfboard is what led to its deletion. If I were able to read the comments, maybe it would give me a clearer idea, but this is just my speculation. Since then, Cheap Pops has remained another one of WWE's failed pilots, right next to the infamous Mr. McMahon Kiss My Ass Club, which is another pilot that has an even crazier backstory. YouTuber Wang made a video on that lost pilot, and I guess you could say it was that inspired me to make this video. Even though that was the story of Cheap Pops, I kind of wanted to know more about this story and wanted to get to the source. To get a more definitive answer, I emailed the people over at Lowbrow Studios to see if they had any more information regarding this short. Surprisingly enough, I did receive a response back and they were more than happy to talk about the short. The person who contacted me back was Mike Parker, the short's creative director. According to Mike himself, just as the old report said, he doesn't know the exact reason as to why the video was pulled from WWE's platform, but apparently the decision came from one of the higher ups. Definitely not Vince, but perhaps a social media manager.
If it were Vince, he'd probably sound like this. What the fuck is this? This is not good shit.
The most detailed reason he could give me as to why it happened was that the team that wrote and produced the mini pilot didn't properly run everything up the chain before posting, and that must have bothered someone with the company. Regardless of the positive reception it had received, the video would be taken down and subsequently canned, making this unauthorized WWE content, I guess? While I still had Mike on hold, I asked him other questions for more context behind the short. He basically said that during this time, he would be a part of a few WWE meetings about upcoming new shows, but he would describe the meetings for Cheap Pops as more of a side project that was made as a result of a little bit of budget WWE had. He thinks the plan for Cheap Pops was to release a mini pilot and see if it performed well and see if it had a chance to be developed further into a real show. Ultimately, that didn't happen and Cheap Pops would be scrapped after just one episode. I did ask if more episodes or storyboards were made, but nothing more was produced beyond the final cut of the first episode. So yeah, unfortunately there is no Cheap Pops episode 2. That being said, Lowbrow would continue to have a working relationship with WWE and produce Storytime in 2017, a show that retells personal stories from WWE superstars. The show did have a good run lasting 3 seasons, and based on character models, they're pretty identical to the ones you see in Cheap Pops, only a little more refined, so perhaps this was more of an early pitch that will later become Storytime. Who really knows? Well, that just wraps the story of Cheap Pops. I've been wanting to make a wrestling video for a while, but I wanted to make a video on something that no one has really mentioned on this platform, you know, other than re-uploads. And this topic so happens to be one of them. I have been thinking of wanting to make a new wrestling iceberg for a while now, since my previous one is almost 2.5 years, and a lot has happened since then. So if you're interested in that, just let me know in the comments. Anyways, that's enough of me. My name is Luis, and I am out. And yes, the Nick video is still being worked on.